What's up everybody, Packmaster here. Now this video is different from last video. Now, last video was kind of interesting because I, said my top 10 collaboration units. Then I did the Fiona thing with, my first impressions. I've summoned quite a bit, not quite a bit really. I've summoned like, 12 times. Not gotten her. And it seems like the rates are bad. Because everybody is saying, oh, I didn't get her till like 30 summons, 40 summons. So maybe this Friday I'll do a couple more summons. Maybe I'll invest like maybe 5 or 6, like 10 more summons. If I don't get her, fuck it. I've got Arthur. I'll be good in Light Vortex Arena. I've got Arthur, Rayceus, Ezra, Regil. I've got a whole bunch of units. I've got a whole bunch of units that can back me up. It's not going to be that difficult. I've got 2 Regils, actually, so I'll be more than good. I'll have one for leader. Fuck it, I'll have one for leader and one just as a sub-unit. So, fuck it. So, this video is going to be all the free units that can go to Omni units, with a couple exceptions for the honorable mentions. Now, I think I should get the honorable mentions out of the way right now, because these honorable mentions are not Omni capable. They are Dagda, Leviatine, and there's another free unit we got from some other event, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But the reason Leviatine and Dagda are honorable mentions, you might be going like, oh my god, this is so different. Yes, Dagda was actually pretty decent for his time when he was on a couple years ago. He was really good for what he did, but he just didn't serve much of a purpose. He really didn't have much purpose on a squad, except just as a filler unit. Kind of the same with Leviatine. They were both just kind of filler units, but at the time they were good. When the time of 6 stars and 7 stars meta, they were pretty decent, but now they're just not worth it anymore. You've got more viable units out there. And another honorable mention are some of the starter units. Some of the starting units like Vargas, Selena, Magris, Atro, those guys, Lance, Eze. Now, of those units, the ones I'm putting on this list are all of them but Vargas. Now, you might be going, all of them but Vargas, why is that? Well, we've got Avant, and Avant is a summon unit. He's not a free unit. You have to summon for him, but he is better than Vargas in many different ways. You've got other spark buffers. You've got like literally tons of spark buffers that do the exact same thing that Vargas does, but better. Again, like I mentioned in the last video, Natsu does a lot of fire types jobs better than what they can do. Like Natsu, I think, does Blaze's job a bit better because of his higher attack stat and his more well-rounded defenses. And you can push his attack up to like 23,000 by giving him a whole bunch of spheres and stuff that boosts his attack and make him super powerful. So that's kind of the honorable mentions out of the way. But the reason why all the other ones are on here, or all the other starters are on here, the other 5, is because they still kind of served a purpose well into the meta. And now, like, Selena, more than ever, is still used in Coliseum and in Arena, and she was used in Vortex Arena because she had Angel Idol. And any unit that had Angel Idol back then was just kind of seen as a more valuable unit than one that didn't have Angel Idol. Like Malord, like Stein, those units. Things like Holia and Selena, and just a bunch of other units like Vicky were also used because they had Angel Idol effects or Angel Idol buffs. So that's that. And starting off this first section of the list, and I did mess up last time where I said Dizzy was number 6 when I already said number 6. So I'm going to try to keep myself on track this time by having them from the top down because I'm smart. So starting at number 10 is Cotton. Now, oh shit, that picture's kind of small, but it doesn't matter because Cotton didn't... Okay. Leader skill, 50% boost all parameters of genderless units is complete garbage unless you're running him with like all the fallen gods, which I wouldn't have you do anyways, or have anybody try to even do that, because you can always run Alzamasta. He does his job way better. Now, he also does BC efficiency, spark damage, restores HP, and boosts BB gauge. Not good. Not good in the slightest. Now, you might be going, oh, spark damage restores HP. Well, I think other units like Felice and Claria do this job significantly better than Cotton can do. On leader skill and just on regular buffs. They do their job way much more better. And I think, not Naviro, but the other guy, Segmund? I think that's his name. The light unit that came out with Almus. He's better at, I think, Cotton's job. And he covers more. Like, he covers, like, critical damage, elemental weakness, damage immunity, spark damage, other stuff. He just covers a bunch of stuff. I think he covers DOT mitigation, too, which is really good. And he does his job better than Capratum, which is another limited-to-time unit. But that was not free, and I tried summoning for and did not get. And I still haven't gotten her yet. Hopefully, Gumi can just, fucking fork it over. But I'm not betting on that in the slightest. So, there's that. And his skill set is really garbage. Now, picking of all the free units, Cotton by far is the worst. Okay, the units on this list go in like some semblance of order, but like these first few are, it's kind of no contest saying that Cotton is the worst. So, Cotton, he just doesn't do a lot for the squad. Like, he just does spark damage boost, HP, and BB gauge. He doesn't do a lot. Like, that's all he's pretty much known for. He's just known for being, that other Easter unit that nobody really cared for. I thought he was going to be better, but he's not. So that kind of ends my very brief rant on Cotton, and I do apologize about that. The pictures are small because I had to fix it from last time, but I do apologize again. But yeah, that's it for Cotton. The number 10 pick is kind of garbage. But now, the next pick, number 9, is Elfelt. Now, Elfelt was, again, the more recent Guilty Gear unit that came out about a couple of months ago, actually, not a year, a couple of months ago, with the release of the Event Bazaar and with the release of the Guilty Gear event, obviously, and the free giveaway. She's not bad. Okay, she's not bad in the slightest. She has 40% boost to recovery, defense, max HP, negates status ailments, restores HP each turn, and collects HC collected, boost BB gauge once. It's 4 BC per 1 HC, so that's pretty good. But that final effect wears off, just like that. It wears off so quickly you won't even notice it happened. Then the fact that she still has BC HC drop rate doesn't really do much. So it, if it was at least like for the first 2 or 3 turns, that would make it so much better because you could get so much more done. But it just doesn't happen, and it doesn't. It's a good boost. It's a good boost, but it's not as good as like all these other boosts. Like you've got 8 BC and 12 BC and like 15 BC being filled, I think, on some units. But this is all right, but not great. Now the next is their extra skill, which is negates all status ailments and probable 15% damage reduction. 15% is not that great, but it's still damage reduction. But she already does negate status ailments. So why does she need it again? If it says negates all status ailments, that has to mean it's for the whole party. Why do we need a second negation to status ailments, and let alone have nothing to do with status ailment removal or status ailments like attack, defend down, reduction, like not reduction, but attack, defend down, negation? She has none of that. She just has, BC HC drop rate, HP restoration, and damage taken restores HP. That's all she's got. She's got 2-turn attack reduction, which she doesn't really need. If you gave that to her on like her BB or SBB, I would be slightly more interested in using her, but her skill set does not cover a lot of area. And again, she has one of these weird imp balances where she has more recovery imps than any other imp. But I guess it's because she has to heal, I guess. She'd be like the healer of the team. But then again, there's other units that do that job way better. There's Gasolina, Alimo, Amos, I believe she can heal. There's a whole bunch of units that can heal. There's just more than Elfelt, and you know, she's not great in the slightest sense. She's not powerful. She's not. She's below borderline. She's pretty much garbage, like cotton. But that's pretty much that. So I'll be right back. I've got to go get another drink, maybe get myself some mints, and we'll continue with this in just a second, guys. Okay, guys. Sorry about that, guys. So Elfelt, not that great. Not a good healer at all. She's not good. She's really garbage. But our next pick is actually a way ton better. One hell of a lot better. That's Hido. Now I know a lot of you guys really don't like that resolution, but I know some people don't like Hido as much as I do. But I like Hido because he actually does a bunch of stuff. He's a mono dark unit, which kind of was like a foreshadowing event to, you know, mono teams now. And I think I'll use him on Vortex Arena when the dark stuff comes out, because he's really good. He does HP restoration or move status ailments, HOT, not DOT, and 1 turn attack reduction. So probably not, you know what, probably not better to bring with the Dark Vortex, but just probably good to bring if you have like a Dark Mono squad and you don't have like a Dark Healer unit. Then bring him. If you have him, bring him. If not, bring like Alice or Elza, because they're still pretty good. And, you know, his leader skill, 20% or 50% boost to defense and max HP. Probable 20% damage reduction. Hugely boosts BB gauge fill rate and restores HP each turn. So it says 50% BB fill rate and heals 800 to 1000 HP plus 10% recovery. That is not a bad leader skill at all. It's more defensive. And next is his extra skill, which comes from the Golden Heart, which it gives a 25% boost to all of his parameters, and and off of that considerably boosts BB gauge each turn for 4 BC. Not bad. One thing I have to say though is no status ailment negation, but his fix to that, I believe, is the Golden Heart, which is his extra skills. No, never mind. So one fix to him and his stuff would be just give him like Flower Mirror and his Golden Heart. Now if you don't have Golden Heart, give him, you know, like give him Prize Delight, or give him some status ailments negation sphere, because if you don't have it on him, he's gonna go down pretty quickly. He is very frail in the means of defenses because he only comes in Lord. Now while he does have 2800 defense, that doesn't mean he's not gonna be bulky in defense. He has no defense boosting skills except for his SBB that has boost attack and defense of dark types, activates a dark barrier, and gradually restores HP for 3 turns and 1 turn attack reduction, where it has a 30% chance to reduce the enemy's attack by 50%. So he gets a 3000 HP barrier, heals 3000 to 350,000, 3,500 plus 10% of the user's recovery. Sorry, all this crap. Like the particle effects on the wiki right now are really messing me up, because there's like these little snowflakes that like glide across the screen whenever my mouse moves, and it really gets me distracted. So next is his UBB, which negates all elemental damage, fills 50 BC for 3 turns, activates a dark barrier for 20,000 HP, and an 80% attack reduction. That is really good. Now you can also give him things like boost defense to BB and SBB, which makes him a bit more bulkier. And instead of the turns end effects happening, it'll switch it to turn start, which also can help if you give him like one of the other spheres that does that. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head. But yeah, hang on, let me my door's haunted, everybody. Sorry about that. My door just started opening up. My door just started... I have my door propped open, and it just started opening up. I'm like, yeah, no ghosts. You ain't coming in this time. And you can give him a slight OD gauge boost effect to BB and SBB, which is 8% for 60. So one of the more popular setups that I see is having that OD gauge fill rate along with the huge defense boost, or giving him UBB effects last one more turn and the defense boost, or 220 skills, the damage taken boost BB gauge and the UBB dark barrier HP enhancement. Though, like, all of his SP is not bad, but he's kind of placed awkwardly on this again, because he doesn't do much, but he still does enough. Like, even if you don't want to have, like, if you're running the risk of not having like a defense booster, just bring Hido, give him that 40 SP option for 160% to add boost to defense for 3 turns to BB and SBB, so he'll be a bit more bulkier and he won't really die as much, because his health is pretty low at only just about 8,000, which a lot more units have slightly more health. Yeah, I have like a little chip clip in my hand, don't ask. I mean, I just have it sitting here, so I was just like, okay, I might just do something, because you can't see, you can only see like from my head down. So yeah, with that, that's Hido's spot. He's number 8 on this list. He's not bad. He's kind of borderline with if you want to use him or not. It really does depend on your squad composition and if you're running a mono team or not. So that's all for Hido. Now, the next one on this list is a strategy zone unit. Now, fuck. I probably need to do some quick switching here, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I'll give the number 2 spot to 2 units, because it's kind of hard to really decide what units go on these lists. Also, I forgot about this unit. I'll explain it when I get to number 2. So the next unit is Zavalwa. Now, okay, not good, not bad, kind of in the middle. She has a good leader skill, 60% boosted defense max HP, hugely boosts damage against status inflicted foes, damage taken boosts BB gauge, and may restore HP. And you get 100% attack boost when you're fighting against status inflicted foes. That's pretty decent, considering that she does status infliction, and she raises attack parameters from 99,999. That's a confusing number. And then it raises it to 130,000. Again, you get more damage. You get a whole bunch of more stuff. It's fucking awesome. Then she has 8% chance to inflict curse, poison, paralysis, and then 10% to inflict injury, weak, and sick on her extra skill. That's all her extra skill stuff. The boost attack stuff, and status counter and stuff like that. That's all pretty good. She also has attack defense reduction, again, status reflect, status infliction, and then adds status inflictions to attack. So again, she's more good for Coliseum and Arena. A lot of people said, like, when she came out, she was like, everyone's like, she's only good for like Arena and stuff like that. And she's good for both Arena and other content, like if you're fighting units that have like one status like if they have like something that gives them status, like no status, like if they have statuses on them, like you can like apply statuses to them, then she's really good to bring. But then again, there's other more powerful units like Phelan and Johnny that you can bring. It's actually highly recommended that you bring Johnny, because he does a slight bit more damage for the cost of being a fire type, and I don't think he raises attack parameters on his extra skill. Somebody can correct me in the comments down below on that. I'm not entirely sure. Her SP is kind of jacked. She has 70 SP cost for a 70% chance to resist a one-hit KO attack. Not bad, but just keep in mind that other units just either have that skill naturally, or it's like 50. But having it be 70, that means you can only then get one of the 20 things and then just one of the other 10s. So one thing you might want to run is, if you wanted to survive, if you really want her to survive for as long as possible, get her the 70 cost 1-hit KO attack resistance, and then give her parameter boost and then damage taken boost BB gauge. And that kind of guarantees that you'll survive a bit more and be able to get your BB and SBB off all at the same time. Now for her, it's better to alternate between BB and SBB because you get status inflictions and then you get boost damage to status inflicted foes, and damage taken adds status inflictions to attack. You know, you get that status reflect and you get status to attack, and you have just random status ailment counter stuff. She's, I think Draenor does the same thing, and Journal. Okay, so I think Draenor does it, and then Johnny does it, Phelan does it. They all do it really well. Zelha also does it very well, but she's a light unit with a little less power backing her, but she can still do some stuff. Like, she's not completely out of the meta. She's kind of like, for Zelha and Zavalawa, they're kind of ranked really low on the list because they don't have a lot of power backing them. So it's just like that borderline stuff backing them. So that's number 7. Now, number 6. This, again, all these free units had like a very hard time me picking which ones went on the list and which ones don't go on the list. But this next one kind of deserves some spot on this list because how good of a decent unit he is and how good of a nuker he moderately is without having double attack. So you pretty much guessed it, Affledilith. Now, Affledilith, 60% boost to attack and max HP, 120% boost to spark damage, considerably boost BB attack when sparks have exceeded 15, attacks absorb HP. Attacks absorb HP is something we need to have more units because holy fuck, imagine if like Baiken or Natsu had attacks absorb HP, or like Arthur had that. That would be insane. But we don't have that, which it makes it a little less insane. And his extra skill is 50% boost to spark damage, hugely boosts BB attack, and raises attack parameters to 130,000. Not bad, but there is something I do have that's kind of like a bone to pick with him. He's kind of like he's kind of like a bootleg version of Ptolemy, I think. But without all the cool recasting effects and stuff like that. But he has a pretty good amount of power backing him. He's got a lot of cool stuff in his kit. He has a water fire attack. He's got huge boost BB gauge, spark damage. Boost spark damage for 3 turns, and boost BB attack. 350 is really good. I like that. Like 350 is a good base. And then you like expand on that through SP options or by going to from BB to the SBB. But that doesn't change, and you know, I think I should actually put this other unit on here, so I'll be right back. I'll wedge it in somewhere, guys, so I do apologize for this, me constantly cutting out in this video, but I'll be right back again, sorry. Okay, so I fixed that up real fast, and continuing on with Affledilith. This guy, this boy, is really fucking good because not only does he boost, BB attack, spark damage, crit. I think he does crit damage. Never mind, I'm wrong. He does not do crit damage. I mean, if he does do crit damage, he doesn't do it as much. But his damage output's pretty decent. Given that he's a free unit, that he's one of the, fallen gods, and, seeing that Zavala wasn't really that great, he being Affledilith, does his job a bit better, being, part nuker and part nuker, part, spark buffer and, damage dealer. He is still very good at doing his job. Even when certain other people, Arthur and Fiona, take the spot very quickly and being able to dish out way more damage than Affledilith. But at the end of the day, you kind of got to expect Affledilith to be just slightly underpowered because he's not fully himself. But what's really good is it's Affledilith. He's actually still pretty decent. He's not bad at all, but he's just, could be better. So moving off of Affledilith now, we're going to go on to the unit that I still have a very hard time trying to get, and that's Maxwell. Everybody wants me to try to do the Maxwell trial-on video. I'm sorry, but it makes me a bit too angry. And with the delay between both Discord, YouTube, and, me actually talking, I don't think I can keep up with, constantly doing content on Brave Frontier unless it's something easy like a Frontier Rift or a Frontier Gate or Frontier Hunter, or just like a dungeon. Those things I can keep up with at a steady pace. But if it's something that's like fast-paced like a trial or strategy zone where I kind of need to make like split-second decisions, it's not going to work. But this fucking unit was so fucking good before Dizzy showed up that, again, Dizzy and Maxwell kind of have two different, kits, but I kind of say, Maxwell's slightly better, but not by a huge margin. But Maxwell does have breaks attack perimeter limit on his extra skill, 60% boost to attack max HP, boost crit and elemental damage, and boost BB attack. 150% boost to crit and elemental damage, and a 250% to BB attack. Not bad, a bit better than Dizzy, I think, but still really good. Again, boosts elemental damage and crit damage on the extra skill. Adds resistance to one-hit KO attack when HP is under 20%. And again, raise attack parameter limit. Like most of these Fallen God units, they have some type of raise attack parameters to them. So again, Maxwell being, I believe, number 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 on this list. Which means, again, it's not bad, he's not good. But again, he does his job better than other buffers of this type. He does his job better than Kalon. Heresy Demon Kalon. He does this job of getting elemental damage and BB attack out way better than him. And not only does he do BB attack and crit damage, but he does more spark. What is that? Where is that? Probable slight reduction to critical and elemental damage. Boosts critical hit rate. Yeah, he does more critical hit stuff. He does more critical damage stuff. Does more elemental damage stuff. So again, he's kind of built on just dealing out criticals and dealing out more elemental damage. Kind of like what Dizzy's for, but again... Oh yeah, by the way, my lamp broke. So you might notice like this big blaringly bright spot over here. That's because my lampshade, not my lampshade, but the lamp head is actually broken. So I actually need to like push down from the inside of the lamp and like turn it so it actually powers on like that. Now it actually could blow up at any second, but we're not worrying about that. We're talking about Maxwell. So again, he does a light and dark attack on SBB and UBB, which is really good because you get multiple elements on there, and I also need to buy myself a pop filter. But he does, and he adds all elements to attack, and again, more crit damage, more elemental damage, and BB attack. Now he does 350% crit damage, 450 elemental damage, and 600 BB attack. Now having that much damage on the UBB is actually really fucking cool. That's almost comparable to Fiona. Now, let me see. Does it increase it? No. All right, but you actually get a pretty good chance to survive a one-hit KO attack from the SP options, which is 30, which is better than most other units because again, it's like it's like 40, 50, or 60. But with Maxwell, you get 30 for 30 SP. You can get all that. Not bad. and you can get spark damage, restores HP, not bad. But you probably want things like, boost critical hit damage and elemental damage, boost parameters, and raise spark damage, and maybe negates elemental damage if you don't have the right Elgif or the right sphere. But again, he is really, really good at doing his job as a critical hit buffer and a elemental buffer and a BB attack buffer. He does that job very well. And another unit that does their job far beyond well, and originally was called the Universal Lead, is Lucius. Now, Lucius, when I saw Lucius get released, I really wanted to get Lucius because all of his stuff looked really fucking cool. But again, I haven't done Maxwell. I have not done Lucius. And, again, with other units on this list, I've just not done stuff to get them. But Lucius is good because he does 60% boost to all parameters, enormously boosts BB gauge each turn, slight damage reduction for 2 turns when damage has exceeded 5k, and 140% boost of spark damage when sparks have exceeded 15. Again, with other good sparking units, that will be a breeze, and you get, 140% boost to spark damage, and then you just start tearing up the whole battlefield. Now, he also negates critical and elemental damage, and adds huge BB gauge boost effect to BB and SBB on his extra skill. That is also really good because, again, he does some stuff that other units really can't do. Yeah, I just burped in the middle of that, but who cares? Again, a boost max HP effect on his BB and SBB, I think. No, on his BB, I'm sorry. Just his BB. Makes, having a bit more survivability a lot better. And he also has BC HC drop rate, boosts BB gauge when damaged, spark damage boosts BB gauge, and negates critical damage. So again, he does a lot more stuff than, say, Ifel and Hido. He does more than those two on the list. That's why they were ranked so low, and Lucius is ranked at, number 4? So I gotta start saying that every time, at number whatever. Okay. So, and his UBB is very powerful because it has his 80 combo. It uses all the allies' BB gauge, but it fills them right back up. And it boosts max HP, activates a 30,000 HP light barrier, and adds all elements to attack, and boosts spark damage by 400%. Now, I think that's also one of the highest in the game at the point. Besides, I think Maxwell, he has one of the highest spark damage outputs, in the game right now. Now again, you can give him more spark damage boost, you can give him more attack boost, you can raise his attack parameter to 150,000, bigger than most of the other units on this list. And finally, you can increase his HP effect on the BB, you can give him status ailment removal, you can give him HP restoration, you can give him huge BB attack, you can give him parameter boost, you can give him negates elemental damage, negates status ailments. Negate status ailments is something I would not recommend because you can always give him a sphere or an Elgif. Give him, Lux Eterno and you'll be fine. But Lucius is really good for a lot of things. And he doesn't make it higher up on the list. Not because he doesn't do his job well, but it's because there are other there's 4 other units that do their job slightly better and have one defined niche all around. So, there's that. And finally, moving on to number 3. Oh boy. Number 3, Cardes. When I did this trial, I did not expect to kill him in the first few turns. But I fucking did it, and I am happy about that. Now, what is super fucking awesome is he does Dark Barrier, and he does his Dark Barrier very well. He does damage taken boost BB gauge on his leader skill, and damage taken may restore his HP. Again, slight HP absorption and 50% damage reduction for 2 turns. Now, he is one of the only other free units that can do, one of the other only units that can do 2-turn mitigation without having an SP option. and that is really good. That is what's sought out for in, you know, all this meta stuff. And again, you can give him negates elemental damage, negates crit damage, and slight damage reduction from light and dark types, and spark damage reduction. You can give him a lot of stuff, and his skill sets in general, well, all of his skills in general are just very, very overpowered. Now, I'm not saying overpowered like you know, all these other units on the list. Like, you know, he's not like insane like what Ezra was back in, you know, back before the patch, but he's decent enough as to where he doesn't have to worry about having other units to really depend on. So again, he's very good at, you know, covering certain bases and making sure like you're not going to die. Like, he has boost defense for 3 turns, negates all status ailments for 3 turns, damage taken, restores BB gauge, and restores HP, and damage reduction for 2 turns on his SBB. That is really good. In general, that's what we really look for. Well, that's what, you know, people in the meta look at when they're trying to find a good mitigator, like Amos and Nagito, Lancelot, you know, Gasolina, and Cartes all hit that spot very, very well. Now, moving in another direction here, Lancelot and Cartes do their jobs kind of equally, but Lancelot, again, is more spark damage based and is more, he's kind of split. He's kind of split mitigator and spark buffer. But Cartes is more like, he's a mitigator. Like, it's not, he's one or the other. It's not like he's both of one thing, but he's just one individual mitigator. Making him better, in some people's opinions, to use him instead of Lancelot. But again, Lancelot has more multipliers on his damage, and he does more damage overall. So that's why Cartes and Lancelot are kind of like spaced perfectly in between for each other, because they do their jobs almost exactly the same. So moving on from my boy Cartes now, is our number 2 spot, which is actually taken up by 2 units, because I just remembered it is both Carnamasta, who's coming out pretty soon, and Ezra. Carnamasta and Ezra. Holy fuck. When I say this, I really could not pick. Carnamasta. If you watch somebody use him, he is insane. His damage is really high. His damage, if you give him an attack boosting sphere, like if you give him like, I don't know, what is that sphere I'm thinking of? The Leo's Dictionary. If you give him that, which is 100% boost to attack, he will do so much. And you get him as a lord. But what's awesome is he's got, you know, very rounded stats. So that makes him a very good unit to use in the terms of stats. Now, Ezra has 100% boost to all stats and has kind of wacky stats. Like, they're all, you know, like her HP is 8,501. Her attack is 3,502. Her defense is 3,103. Her recovery is 3,105. So it's kind of weird, but at the end of the day, you kind of see who does this job better. Is it who fills in this job of being a nuker unit better? Is it Ezra or is it Karna? Well, I have Ezra. I don't have Carnamasta, and I don't think I'm ever really going to get him, because from what I've heard and from what I've seen, is this trial for Carnamasta is going to be some real shit that's going to go down. Like, it's going to be painful if you're not prepared enough. Like, if you don't have Amos or Nagito or Solos, you're going to get fucked up. If you don't have all as a Masta, even as a friend lead or just as your own unit, you're going to get fucked up in this trial. Like, again, giving Solos the Dragon Shield is so much better than just like giving him some random spheres and just like going, okay, let's do this. Because if you give Solos those spheres, he will pretty much be almost 90% unkillable. But then again, he will still be killed if he is one shot, probably by Karnamasta, because he is absolutely insane. He does Karnamasta, his BB, he does 25% boost to max HP, 200% boost to attack, defense, and recovery, 60% boost to critical hits, 180% boost to spark, and 150% boost to elemental damage. Also a 100% boost to crit damage. I think I've already said that, but who cares? Because his stuff is absolutely insane. Now, 200% boost all parameters, we have not seen that. That has not been done on any other unit before. Also, he does, 550% boost to BB attack on SBB. He does 450% boost to spark, 500 elemental, and 350 crit. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that awkward cut. Doggies. They would just stop barking so much. But Karnamasta does so much damage. He has, if I actually had Karnamasta, I would really fucking use him on my team, because holy fuck, his attack parameters. Now, you not only can raise his parameters even further from 180,000 to 200,000, you can raise his leader skill from 130,000 to 150,000, which again is absolutely fucking insane considering what Karnamasta is. He's a fucking nuker unit. He's going to make it so that giving everybody your parameter boosts is going to be nothing. All you'll need to do is give Karnamasta on that lead. He has his 200,000 stuff. He has his 200,000 raise attack parameter for himself, and then he can give 150,000 attack to everybody on the team. That also, and he adds all elements to attack for 30 to BB and SBB, which again, insane. Critical hit rate increase to SBB and UBB, insane. You can raise his parameters from 80 to 100. Well, if on the SP you can give 80%, then you can upgrade that to 100%. You can give him 150% boost to spark damage. You can give him fill zone BB gauge to max. You can give him slight OD gauge fill rate. Like, holy fuck. Okay, I'm not lying right now. You probably want to save your Elementium tomes for when Karnamasta comes out to get him to Omni +3, because you want to give him parameter boosts, so that's 30. You want to give him spark damage, that's 50. You want to give him raise attack parameters, that's another 50, or another 10 if you want to give him just raise his extra skill. But I'll get the extra 50. So then, what do you do? What do you want? Actually, you know what? I think I'll just get the raise attack parameter for himself, because then I can get another 30, give him all elements to attack, or fill zone BB gauge to max effect to BB and SBB, and then you got like. Now that sucks because you got 10 more that's like unused, but it doesn't really matter when you have Karnamasta, because it's like it's fucking insane. Now again, Gumi did mention that they might have Omni +4 and 5. They might actually cap it at Omni +5. That's what I'm thinking. And that might just give us 150% boost for SP, 150 SP, and or 165. I mean, I don't fucking know. Gumi's gonna do something with this, and hopefully, with Omni Paradigm, it'll become way better. Now, Ezra. The only bad side to Ezra is we don't have Ortis. Since we don't have Ortis, we don't have her full potential. So we don't have the one-hit KO resistance unless you give her some type of Elgif or Sphere that makes it so that she doesn't get one-hit KO'd. But most of the time, she's going to do so much damage, whatever's trying to kill her is going to be dead. And that 20% boost to all allies when Ortis is equipped, we don't know how the fuck Ortis is getting released. And according to my sources on the Discord server, you can all go check out there in the link down below. But everybody on the server said that they were going to release it like 2 days ago, like 2 or 3 days ago. They never did. They said, oh, hey, guess what? We're going to do all this stuff. And then they just never fucking touched it. Also, what is that other thing? It's like you get all the powerful spheres like Sky Orb, Heaven's Edge, Titan Targe, You get all those special spheres, and you get like a 50% boost to parameters. You get one thing that's like 50% boost to all parameters. Like, it would be nice if it gave us, like, 200% boost to all parameters and, like, all this extra shit. Like, 700% boost to BB attack. If that happened, Carnomaster would be the most broken thing to hit in Brave Frontier. Now, one of the good spheres I'd recommend giving Carnomaster would be Heaven's Edge. Heaven's Edge and Titan Targe. Those two would just fuck anybody up. Titan Targe, again, it's the 10 million merit point thing. But, if you've been here since, like, day one and you've been, like, trading in all your fucking units like fucking hotcakes, you'll hit that in no time. I'm not lying. You'll hit that literally in no time at all. That'll be done before you even think about it. So, again, all the stuff that Karna and Ezra can do is so fucking insane. Because, again, Ezra has normal hit amount increase. She has BC HD drop rates by 100%, I think, right? Right. Oh, no, she has 50% BC HD drop rate to the BB. And item drop rate by 10% to the BB for 5 turns. Now, it's 5 turns of 50% BCHC. Now, what Ushi said is he didn't pick that because it wasn't worth it, and he just went for enormously boost BCHC drop rate or some other skill. I picked the 20 cost 50% boost to the BB because not only is that 5 turns, that's 5 turns for the whole team. That's, I think, greater than Zonelight and greater than Zeruya. So if it's better than those two, even with SP and their special spheres, that is a lot going for Ezra. Again, now she adds I didn't fucking notice that. Adds OD gauge per ally on SBB. I mean, it's 70 cost and it's 12 max. But I mean, that's fucking crazy. I mean, see what I'm talking about? All these units in Global have some type of weird stigma that they have with them. But then when people actually get them, they're like really cool and really awesome. But right now, as we know, Ezra's ult art is just in the void. And Ortis is just in the void. Now, Ortis, if we just had Ortis and... Well, we have Ema right now. If we just had Ortis, holy hell, Ezra would be so much more powerful. And she would be able to compare to Carnamasta. But since she doesn't have that... She can't really compare to Carnamasta as much. But they're placed so evenly on the list. Because they do so much damage. And they do their jobs so very much well. Now, again... Number 1, and as you know, the honorable mentions for this, if you've come this far in the video, the honorable mentions are Leviatine and Dagda for their time when they were around. They were really good. And the starter units. Yeah, starter units, all but Vargas, because Avant does Vargas's job way better. And then there's just a bunch of other units that do Vargas's job way better. Natsu, Zace, again, Avant, maybe Azurai, I think. Pretty much every other good fire unit does Vargas's job 10 times better. I think Vargas is kind of like Vargas is like the poor man's version of Avant, but he's not good. He's not good at all. But that's it for all the honorable mentions. Now, I mentioned this dude in the last video. I called him the universal lead. I pretty much call him a lot of things. I call him the universal lead, the universal unit, one of the best in the game. I'm not joking when I say that at number 1, this is probably one of the best units that Global has seen right now. And as most of you know, and as most of the other guys on the Discord server know, it's all a fucking master. This fucker. This fucker. Okay. 80% boost to all parameters, 15% boost. 15% damage reduction from all elemental types. Slight damage reduction for 2 turns when damage has exceeded 5k. Negates all status ailments on his leader skill. On his extra skill, damage taken considerably boosts BB gauge and restores HP. Negates all status ailments for some other reason. And raises max attack value to 150,000. When I said he was the universal lead in this, like the universal unit, That's what I'm talking about. He has everything that like Rajil has. He has you look down at his skills. He's got most of the stuff that what Xion has. You know, he's got attack defense reduction, which is really good for just in general. He has spark vulnerability and elemental vulnerability and elemental mitigation. Now, while he doesn't have like attack defend down, well, not attack defend down, but he doesn't have like attack defense recovery boost. He's still pretty good because he does 80% boost to all parameters, and you want to use him as your leader. If you don't use him as your leader, you probably use like Rajil or Xion. And if you use Xion and Alzamasta in the same squad, it's really good because they kind of benefit off of each other. Same thing with like Rajil and Alzamasta, they kind of benefit off each other. Again, Lucius, Alzamasta, they benefit. It doesn't really matter what unit a combination you have. If you even use double Alzamastas, they benefit each other. But you can raise this guy's attack raises his parameters to by 60, giving him just more wiggle room for a whole bunch of stuff. Also, you can give him spark damage boost, negate critical hit and elemental damage, and 10% damage reduction from all types, just like passive damage reduction. And you can give him, enhances SBB damage reduction, adds considerable attack defense. Oh, you can give him, oh, I was wrong. You actually can give him attack defense and recovery boosts for all units for 40 SP, 20 each. One being fire, earth, and light, the other being water. % for attack defense and recovery, which I think is slightly better than Xion. I'm not entirely sure, but I for some reason I feel like that's better than Xion. Next is spark damage boost BB gauge, damage taken boost BB gauge, adds slightly absorbs HP when attacking to BB and SBB. Status counter, status elements removal, 2-turn attack defense reduction to SBB for 3 turns. And, okay. In Japan, this fucker had 58 cost. And in global, he has 54. Why do they do that? Because they made his trial harder. Why? How do they make it harder, you might ask? They made it harder because you know how the global meta is like Ravia Savia. You have those two normal attack combo. You're easy win. It's pretty much guaranteed if you have Savia and Ravia in the same fucking team, you're guaranteed to win. If you have Ravia, Savia, Camilla, and Resus all on the same team, you're guaranteed to win. Oh, and Ezra. If you have all those on the same team, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. These fuckers on Gumi. Like, this isn't even Olim's fault. This is just fucking Gumi at this point. What they did is they took Alzamasta and jacked up his normal attack resistance. So, I remember, like, my buddies on the Discord server were complaining, like, oh my god, how the fuck is he not dying to Savia and Ravia? Because he resisted those normal attacks. Also, he had, like, a painful UBB counter or something, and you really couldn't use, like, more than, like, 2 or 3 BB and SBBs at a time because of, second divine light, or like third divine light. I don't fucking know what it's called. But I was getting like hearing complaints from these guys going like, this shouldn't happen, like he shouldn't have like all this shit. And I'm like, holy fuck, is Alzamasta really that bad? I watched somebody try to do Alzamasta. It was painful. Like, I hate to say it to Shadow Pixel, but when I watched him do it, I felt bad because of how hard it fucking looked. So you have to do the turtle method. Basically, you have to take it slow, and you've got to read. You've got to do the BB log stuff. You've got to like take your time and carefully kind of eat through it. What are they gonna do when Carnamasta comes out? They're probably gonna give him normal attack resistance. And if they give him normal attack resistance, and given that the fact that his trial is very punishing, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, if they give his final form, which is his, his actual unit form, and not like his big beast form. If they give Karnamasta that fucking ability, that will be the shittiest fucking thing that Gumi has ever done. Besides making it so that Guild Raid Season 8 is postponed, not giving me my fucking Ravia because they postponed Season 8 and I was really, really fucking hopeful. Which, speaking of which, tonight is at maintenance. Tonight at, what, 2200? So about, what, 5... Okay, so I'm gonna think about... it's not 7 o'clock yet, but I'm thinking about it being 7 East time, so... It's gonna be 16... Fuck. No, that's like later on. It's like 11 or midnight, I think. It's like 11 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And considering that this is all in like Singapore, Indonesia, and Japan, it's going to be like really jacked up when it comes back to time. But there's also a collaboration event going on soon, but I'll get into that in the next video. Now, again, the top 3 units, Karna, well, Master being number 1, Karnamasta and Ezra being number 2, and then Kardas being number 3. They're all on this list because they are very powerful. They can support their roles very well, and they do their job without interfering with other units. Like, again, also in Xi'an, they have some buffs that kind of link together. Like, if you don't have attack, defense, recovery boosts, get Xi'an. Get some attack, defense, recovery buffer so that you're not going to die. But Alzamasta in itself is a very, very, powerful unit. Again, like I mentioned before, everybody on here is a very powerful unit. But everybody in the top like 6 or 7 are very powerful units. But they just don't cover much very well. So yeah. Again, like in the top 6 or 7, these units are very powerful. They do their jobs well. They cover certain ground, and they have their own niche. Like, you know, Affledilith has his niche, Zavala has her niche, Maxwell has his niche, Lucius has his niche, and Kardas has his as a mitigator. Ezra and Karna have theirs as powerful nukers, and Alza has his for being a very good universal unit. Now, again, you can actually think this idea, you know, from the boys in the Discord server, being, you know, Shadowpixel, GX, you know, and everybody else in that server. So that's it for this very brief list of units that I think are the best in the terms of being free. So with that being said, guys, that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. With that being said, have a good one, guys. Okay, guys, so, and I do apologize about some of these random cuts as kind of being like inserted throughout the video, but again, it's one of these things where it's like, I want to have like a brief few minutes again off of this video, you know, kind of being more unit related and kind of talk about where Brave Frontier is going to be going for me. Right now, because they postponed Season 8 for Guild Raid, and they're going to do both the Vortex Arena and Guild Raid both at the same time. Well, they can't do that, and you know, it's kind of unofficial news, but they said they're going to try to do Vortex Arena, then later on they're going to do Guild Raid Season 9. So that means Season 9 is going to be postponed, which means we're not going to see probably another Guild Raid till fucking January. And I swear if that fucking happens, Gumi, I better get my... Okay, everybody's watched this far in the video. Mark my fucking words. If Gumi does not give me my... If Gumi suspends Season 9 for Guild Raid one more... Like, if they suspend another Guild Raid one more time, they better freaking give me 1, my Ravia, and 2, my freaking Desit, and 3, whatever other unit I really want, because I don't care right now. I just want fucking Ravia and Desit. Ravia, Desit, and Save. If I don't get those, if Gumi suspends Guild Raid Season 9, I want Ravia, Save, and Desit. I fucked up on the last one, but another Savi would not be bad, because I already have 2 of them. I would not be disappointed to have a third. Omni Plus motherfuckers. So again, all these units have like their own special niche, and I swear, if Gumi suspends Guild Raid Season 9, if they suspend not just Season 9, but if they suspend Season 9 and then give us Season 10 in January and then suspend that, I better see Ravia, Save, and Desit, and another fucking Savia in my fucking presents box that same freaking day. So, all of you out there, so GX, okay, I'm leaving this to GX, Gray, Sorkit, Shadow Pixel, and Stall Pharaoh if he watches this, because he's actually on my Discord server. So if any of you guys see this, if they suspend Guild Raid Season 9 one more time, I better see Save, Ravia, and Desit in that fucking presents box day of. I fucking want this done. If we get a fucking petition for going to this is gonna be fucking crazy. Somebody out there is probably gonna like sign a petition to like get me my fucking Ravia, and they're gonna like send it to Gumi. Oh my god, if that happens, if that fucking happens, it'd be crazy.